A game on a Sunday night to close out Matchday 35 in La Liga EA Sports. Real Betis at home against Osasuna. Both teams fighting for Europe, but different kinds of Europe. William Carvalho was acknowledged for being Betis's all-time leading appearance maker for a foreign-born player. As this game got underway, we were searching desperately for moments that would bring us something on the score sheet, and in the first half, that didn't come. Won't spoil the surprise throughout the rest of the game. But no, in the first half, it was Isco and Anthony on the bench. Betis making some rotational changes after Thursday night's contest in Fiorentina, which saw them make their way to the Conference League final as they advance after the second leg semifinal. So this is on short rest for them, and it wasn't exactly the same for Osasuna. They had time to rest and recover from last weekend's loss to Villarreal. Betis were the more productive side going forward. They were the more energetic side for most of the night. And in trying to seek out those early chances, one of which came to Cucho Hernandez. He's been an excellent addition, the Colombian, in trying to be a part of Betis's frontline attack. Early chance for Osasuna came to Lucas Torro and Ante Budimir. We talk about Cucho, we talk about Budimir, and both of those players would get a better opportunity in the second half. Some of the chances that each team were experiencing just didn't come with the moments of quality that we're used to. In fact, Ruben Garcia had scored in 3 consecutive games, but a shot like that is one that he would perhaps like to have back. Abde down the left-hand side, taking on all comers, and just this was a bit of a tale of the first half, dribbling it a bit too far. Taking it over the byline. Off of the turnover, Aitor Ruibal doing everything he could to set up Lo Celso with his one and only shot on target, the only shot on target of the first half for Betis. Not to scare off Herrera, the Osasuna keeper. First half continued along down the right-hand side with Jesus Rodriguez, who just wasn't able to get it going on this occasion. He tried as best he could to put it into a dangerous area, but the Osasuna defense were always right there to deny him. Ensuing corner from Lo Celso was seen back out for Ruibal, whose shot took a deflection, and we went right back to the corner flag. Later on, it was Jesus linking up with Ruibal again, and Enzo Bayomo denying him, and then Rodriguez sending himself down to the floor, only to get back up and lose possession. It was a bit of a mix and match for Betis in trying to figure out the right combinations on this night. So although Osasuna didn't have much to offer moving forward, they were fairly compact defensively. Aymar Oroz tried to set up Catena, who had made a couple of runs into the dangerous 6-yard box. Another good chance came for Brian Zaragoza, who worked it around not one but 2 defenders and ultimately found the target, but Adrian was there to deny him. Perhaps a tale of the young winger's season, able to make the fancy move to get himself into shooting position, but then needing that final product. Had another chance, did Zaragoza, to send service into the box. There was a collision with Budimir this time. Adrian went down hard. Budimir was booked. There's only so much danger that could be offered from the first half. And it was a painful collision for both sides. So when the second half got underway, we saw Lo Celso sit down and Isco stand up. Isco came on for the remaining 45 minutes. And that was part of the reason how and why this game ended up changing. We knew that the way that the table stood, both teams had to find something worthy of 3 points. This chance for Zaragoza, another summary of his evening. Osasuna started the night 3 points back of the 8th spot. They could jump into a tie for 8th with a victory. And Betis started the night 4 points behind Villarreal for the final Champions League spot, something that they've been seeking late in the season thanks to this surge. They needed a win to get within 1 point of Villarreal with 3 games left to play after this one. Ruibal, we know how he can hit them, and he certainly hit this one well. Stung the palms of Sergio Herrera. Managed to keep it right in front of him. That's when we would see Anthony, who had started every single game since his debut, had not missed a game, and had not missed a start until tonight, but did get his chance for about 35 minutes or so, and would do everything he could to make an impact. Trying to set up his teammates on this occasion, though, going for goal. It was a little bit harder for him to get into the game late, or it was when he normally has over an hour to make his mark. But he was there, and he was linking up with Isco quite a bit. This shot from Pablo Fornals had everybody thinking there was a chance. That pressure continued, and eventually Betis would be rewarded for their efforts in moving forward confidently. Although this Fornals chance didn't come home, eventually we'd find that one of them would. Isco looking for Cucho Hernandez. And that is how the scoring starts at the Villamarin. The Colombian grabs his 4th of the year. There was a question of offside immediately, but those potential worries were put to rest. This is going to look like an offside there, but we can confirm for you with the semi-automated offside that it wasn't really that close, actually. As play continued, give credit to Cucho for getting to the spot that Isco wanted him to be at. He puts it on a platter for Hernandez. It's a brilliant little dink. And it brought Betis the lead just about an hour into the game, 64 minutes to be exact. And we thought from that moment that the most likely scenario was Betis grabbing a second goal, because they continued to push forward. Here's a confirmation of how close or not perceived offside was. And this was when Betis started to fire on all cylinders, looking for another. This seemed to have a bit of controversy in the moment, with Boyomo keeping his leg stuck out for a moment and Abde going down, but nothing doing. And Osasuna was forced to respond, and they would do that. Arezzo looking for a cross. It deflects off of Aymar Aroth and finds the foot of Ante Budimir, who is so good with time and space. Nobody scored more goals this season for a team that doesn't count as Barca or Madrid. Ante Budimir, 19 goals this year. He's 3rd in the league behind Lewandowski and Mbappe. This one he makes count after the little Aroth deflection to level the score, make it 1-1. It's a confident finish from him, and one that pretty much guaranteed that these two teams were going to have to split the points at the end of the night. This goal came about 11 minutes after the Betis goal, and it forced, again, both sides just to wake up and go for 3 points. One point just didn't really do a whole lot for anybody in this game, and that's why Budamir's chance here was a big one to try and give Osasuna the lead. Wasn't able to get enough power behind it. The ball just bounced into him calmly, and so there wasn't a whole lot to be had from it. A couple of extra changes saw Johnny Cardoso come on for Betis. Pablo Garcia as well, the 18-year-old. And Osasuna were the team pushing, perhaps almost more likely to get the go-ahead goal. This one off the head of Raul Garcia hits the crossbar, which may go down as the best chance post 1-1. Adrian seemed to have it covered, but anything that hits the crossbar of that nature will at least make you think. While 3 points would have been great for either side to get closer to their respective European objectives, each side would have to settle for 1, in part because Raul Garcia's 2 headers were not put on target. Betis just didn't really have a whole lot to show for themselves after scoring the first goal. This Anthony chance maybe goes down as the best one, taken off the volley after the initial clearance from Turro. But nothing to separate the sides, and that's the way Matchday 35 ends. They've got to split the points. It ends at the Benito Villamarin. Betis 1, Osasuna 1.